My sister-in-law secretly replaced my birth control with sugar pills. I discovered it by accident when my prescription bottle fell and spilled everywhere. The pills were white instead of the usual pink, and they tasted sweet when I licked one to check. My heart stopped. I'd been taking these for 3 months, wondering why I felt so off lately. I immediately called my pharmacy. Mrs. Peterson, your last refill was picked up by. The pharmacist paused, checking records. Rachel Peterson on the 15th of August. She said she was your sister-in-law helping while you were sick. I was never sick in August. Rachel had volunteered to pick up my prescription when I mentioned running low during family dinner. So helpful, everyone had said, the pharmacist continued. She specifically requested the generic white version instead of your usual brand. Said you wanted to save money. I'd never requested that. I drove straight to Rachel's house, my hands shaking with rage. Did you switch my birth control? I confronted her directly. She didn't even try to deny it. James deserves to be a father, she said calmly, like she'd done something noble. You've been selfish, putting your career first for 5 years. You what? I could barely breathe. Someone had to make the decision. He's dying to be a dad. The audacity was insane. So, you decided to sabotage my birth control. I helped move things along, she shrugged. If you get pregnant now, you'll thank me later, trust me. I left without another word and drove straight home to tell James. But when I walked in, Rachel was already there, crying to my husband about how I'd attacked her. She accused me of some crazy conspiracy about her pills. Rachel sobbed. I think the stress of her job is making her paranoid. James looked at me with concern. Babe, what's going on? Rachel says you are upset about your prescription. I explained everything, but Rachel kept shaking her head sadly. I picked up her pills because she asked me to. Now she's blaming me for what exactly? I don't understand. James was torn. His sister seemed genuinely confused and hurt, while I sounded like I was having a breakdown. Maybe there was a mix-up at the pharmacy, he suggested gently. That night, I hatched a plan. The next morning, I called Rachel. I owe you an apology, I said sweetly. I think I overreacted yesterday. Oh, honey, I understand, she replied, immediately warming up. You've been so stressed. Actually, I wanted to thank you. You were right about James wanting kids. There was a pause. You are not upset anymore. I took a pregnancy test this morning. I lied. It was positive. Her reaction was immediate and telling. Oh my God, really, I knew it. I knew this was meant to happen. It's like you planned it perfectly, I said, recording the call. Well, someone had to take charge, she laughed. James would have waited forever for you to come around. Sometimes you have to help fate along, you know, by switching my birth control, exactly. And now look how perfectly it worked out. You are going to be such a good mom once you adjust to the idea. I had everything I needed. That evening, James and I were having dinner when Rachel burst in without knocking, carrying baby name books and pregnancy vitamins. I brought everything you'll need, she announced excitedly. And I already looked up the best pediatricians in the area. James looked confused. Need for what, the baby? Rachel beamed. Didn't she tell you? The pregnancy test was positive this morning. The color drained from James's face. What pregnancy test? I pulled out my phone and hit play. Rachel's voice filled the room. Someone had to take charge, help fate along by switching my birth control. It worked out perfectly. The silence was deafening. James stared at his sister like she was a stranger. You did what? Rachel tried to backtrack, but the recording was clear. She'd admitted to deliberately sabotaging my birth control to force a pregnancy. Get out, James said quietly. James, you don't understand. Get out, he roared. Rachel left, but not before hissing at me. You'll regret not having kids. You'll die alone and bitter. That was 4 months ago. Rachel is banned from our house, and James has been in therapy processing how his sister violated both of our autonomy in the most intimate way possible. The real kicker, I actually do want kids someday, but I want them when we decide, not when his psycho sister decides for us. We're planning to start trying next year on our own terms, and Rachel will never meet her future nieces or nephews.